friends, welcome to my channel Math Solutions. As I have promised in my previous video, that next topic which I will be discussing would be questions based on integers. So here I am with the topic, but before I proceed, I would request you all to like and subscribe my channel. Please do so in order to receive all the notification for the videos I'm posting here. So now the first question is, which of the following is a true statement? So firstly we'll see the option C. The option C says here -4 and -3 are non-comparable. So this option is out of our league. I tell you why. Because -4 and 3 are two quantities where we can make comparison. We can decide between these two numbers which one is greater and which one is smaller. So we can't say that these numbers are non-comparable. These integers are non-comparable. So it is incorrect. Okay. Now the option A states -4 is greater than -3, and then option B says -4 is less than -3. Let's conclude. So we are taking one number 5 and we are going to subtract one of these numbers from 5. So firstly we'll take -4. Okay, when we are subtracting 4 from 5, then the result would be 1, and when we are subtracting 3 from 5, then the result is 2. So now which one is greater? So the conclusion is that 2 is greater than 1. So here we can understand, or it's very much clear here, that -3 is greater than -4. So here the option 1 says -4 is greater than -3. So it's not correct. This is not the right answer. -4 is smaller than -3. Yeah, this option is correct, because we have seen here that when we are subtracting 4 from 5, then we are getting 1, which is a smaller quantity, and when we are subtracting 3 from 5, we are getting 2, which is a greater quantity. Means 2 is greater number than 1. So the option B is correct. But every time we can't take the example and solve like this, so we have to fix it in our mind. The larger quantity bearing the negative sign, that integer would be the smaller. Okay, so let's say I'm taking one example here, -25 and -26. What do you think, which one is smaller and which one is greater? So -25 is a greater number and -26 is the smaller number. Why? Because 26 is the larger quantity and 25 is the smaller quantity. So 26 is bearing the negative sign, so the 26 is the smaller number and 25 is the greater number. It's very easy concept. If you see the larger number bearing the negative sign, you can always conclude that yeah, it's a smaller number. Okay, now the second question is 2 less than -3. Less than means we need to subtract. Okay, so -3, we are going to subtract 2 from -3. So when we are doing so, -3, and then we are subtracting 2 from -3, then we are going to solve this using the integer property. So minus and minus is plus. Okay, so now we have to add these numbers. So when we are adding these two numbers, then the result would be 5, but the sign would be minus. Why minus? Because 3 is the larger quantity and the sign is minus here, so the result will have the negative sign. So the -5 is the answer. The third question states that 4 more than 5 is, okay, more than means we need to add 4 to the number -5. So 4, when we are adding with number -5, the result will be 4 plus minus minus, and then it's 5. So this is a positive number, this is a negative number. So when we are checking here, positive and negative is negative, so we need to subtract. So we are subtracting 4 from 5, then the answer would be 1 and the sign would be minus. Why minus? The result will be -1 because 5 is a larger quantity and bearing the negative sign, so the -1 is the answer. So the option C is correct here. For this question, the option C was correct. Now 2 less than -7 is, it is again same like question number 2. So we are subtracting 2 from -7, so -7 and then -2. So what is the answer we are going to get? Minus and minus, it is plus. So we are going to add these two numbers. So 7 and 2 when added together it's 9, and the sign would be negative. Why negative? Because the 7 is the larger quantity and having the negative sign, so we are going to put minus in the answer. So minus 9 is the answer and the option A is correct. Moving ahead, the next question is the successor of minus 18. So the successor, how we can calculate successor? We need to add 1 in the given number. So let's take one example. So if we say what would be the successor of 25, so what we need to do, we need to add in 25. So we are adding 1 in 25, then the answer would be 26. So here we need to do the same thing, minus 18 plus 1. Okay, so we are adding up 1 in the given number. So plus and minus is minus, so we are going to subtract 1 from 18. The result would be 17, but minus 17. Why minus 17? Because the greater number is 18 and it is bearing the negative sign, so the result will also have the negative sign, so the answer would be minus 17. Now moving ahead, the next question is the predecessor of minus 16 is. Now we need to calculate the predecessor. We need to go one number back. Okay, so let's say I am talking about number 25. So what would be the predecessor of 25 when we are subtracting 1 from it? It would be 24. One number we are going backward, then it will be 24. So again we have to do the same thing. We need to subtract 1 from minus 16. Okay, so here we are subtracting, so minus and minus would be plus, so 16 plus 1 would be 17, and then the sign would be minus. Why minus? Because 16 is the larger quantity and bearing the negative sign, so the result will also have the minus sign. So the option B here is correct. Now the question states that the sum of two integers is minus 25. If one of them is 30, then the other is. So let's understand this by taking an easy example. So if I say there are two numbers, when we are adding up, sum means we are adding up. Okay, so the sum of both the numbers is 5. One number is 3. So what is the other number? So what we are adding in 3 to get 5? We are adding 2 in order to get 5. And how we are getting 2? We are subtracting 3 from 5. So let's understand it by creating a simple equation. So there are two numbers, so one is unknown, so we are going to put it as x, and then the one integer is 30. So these are the two numbers which are getting added, and the result is coming as minus 25. So this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. Any component on the left hand side, when moving to the right hand side, the sign would be changed. Same vice versa, if any component on the right hand side coming to the left hand side, the sign would be changed. So here the 30 is a positive number, and when we are shifting it to the right hand side, the sign of 30 would be changed. So minus 25, and then it will be minus 30. Positive sign will be converted to negative sign. So now minus minus plus, so when we are adding up both numbers, then we are getting 55. So the answer is minus 55. Why? Because 30 is the larger quantity and bearing the negative sign. So the answer would be minus 55. So the other number is minus 55. So when minus 55 and 25, when minus 55 and 30 is added together, then the result will come as 25. Okay, so the answer is option C, minus 55. Now the last question which I will be discussing would be on subtracting minus 8 from 0 we get. So we need to subtract 0 from minus 8. Okay, so it will be 0 minus and minus, it will be plus, and 0 plus 8. The answer would be 8. Why it would be 8? Because when we are doing this, 8, positive 8 and negative 8, so positive and negative will always be cancelled, then only the result will be we are getting is 0. So the question says that what number should be, what we are going to get when we are subtracting 0 from minus 8. So the answer would be 8. Okay, so here we have the answer. So the option B is correct. So I hope all these questions are clear to you all, and from my end I have discussed the basic properties of integers, and I have tried to explain each of these questions, and I would request you all to do more and more practice. And in the comment section you can raise your query. If you have any question and you want me to solve that for you in a separate video, I will definitely do that. I would be really glad to explain that question to you all. And if you have any queries, if you want me to make any video on any particular topic, please let me know in the comment section, so that I can go ahead and make the video and explain that topic. So that's all from my end for this topic. Okay, so in my next video I'll be discussing another topic, so please stay tuned to my channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a nice day. Bye bye.